So today, basically the plan is I'm going to show you the Robots4Whales website, which is where all the real-time platforms are posted, and you can view the pitch track data that comes in on them. You can view the analyst results. So we'll walk through that, and then we've got about 25 minutes or so until we have a break, and then another hour. I'll walk you through how we analyze for sei whales, North Atlantic right whales, humpbacks, and fin whales for their presence in the pitch track data. And I'll walk you through the LFDCS reference guide part of that. And then if we have time at the end, there are a couple of examples of pitch track data that we can go through as a group. I did just send out an email to everybody. You can disregard it right now, except for at the very top of the email, there is a link directly to the website. How do I get back to the Zoom screen? I just wanted to drop. Can you drop the robots4whales.hui.edu in the chat? Yeah. Jen is going to drop the link for the Robots4Whales website in the chat for you all so you can access it. But I am going to walk through it on the shared screen here. So here we go. Lovely, thanks, Jen. Okay, so the link's in the chat. So when you go to the website, the first thing you're going to see when you scroll down are the latest detections table here. So this shows you all of the active platforms, which consist of either the moored buoys or slocum gliders, which Mark showed in his slides. And it gives you a summary of which species have been detected in the last 3 days. And then it also gives you the operators and collaborators that are involved with each platform. So if we scroll down a little bit further, we can see another version of the map that Mark showed on his slide, and it shows all the active platforms that are currently out in the water. You can see plenty on the East Coast, and then the couple in Santa Barbara and San Francisco over there on the West Coast of the US. And then keep scrolling down. Under projects, this is a scrolling window. You can see at the top here, these are the active missions. Those are the same links as up toward the top here. They're the same platforms. They're the ones that are currently in the water. So if we scroll back down, so you have the active missions at the top there. If you scroll down through the window, you can view all of the archived missions that have really ever been deployed. They're all on there. So you could go to any of these and click on their live links. You can click on them and look at the data that's come in. You can look at the species that were detected. You can look at the raw pitch track data. So they're all there. You can see there are many, many of them all the way back to like 2012 was the first one, way back when. So if you keep scrolling down past the archive, if you missed it the first 5 times, there is the spectrogram and pitch track comparison, which is really, really lovely. I'm biased at this point. I love pitch track data. Every time I have to look at a spectrogram, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is just painful. So the pitch track data is just, it's beautiful, it's simple. Once you learn how to read it, it's great. So there's that. If you keep scrolling down here, there are sound clip samples for the different species. So we've got fin whales, 20 hertz call, that's 24 times normal speed. We've got some humpback whales singing, right whale up calls, North Atlantic right whale, sei whales. We got some down sweeps there. Keep scrolling down. We've got some pictures of the different platforms, obviously the slocum glider and the moored buoys being the most popular. Our poor wave gliders, not so much. And a little explanation of each of those. Diagram of kind of how the slocum glider works, which Mark walked you through, diving up and down the water column. Down here, we have some diagnostic information there. There's the sections here for near real-time analyst protocol and the LFDCS user manual. These are old links to kind of old protocol documents. They're not necessarily wrong, but what we've done is compiled all of this information into the comprehensive reference guide for LFDCS that was distributed to all of you. So the first section of that reference guide is all of the desktop, LFDCS desktop that Jen went through this morning. And then the second half is all of the real-time analyst protocol. So after the conference, we are going to be posting that reference guide here in place of these. So stand by. And we will update, it is a working document, so we will be updating it on the website, and we'll change the version numbers so you can always return to the Robots4Whales website, scroll down to the bottom, and access whatever the latest version of the reference guide is. And we have some references here. Of course, if you have questions, you can always email Mark.
Small fine print at the bottom.
Yes, at the very bottom here. And if you're actively analyzing real-time data, if you end up doing real-time deployments, you're always welcome to email me. I'm happy to provide a second opinion on pitch track data. I'm doing that for a couple of groups, including University of Maryland. They always send me some fun, like kind of tricky pitch track examples. So that's really fun. So what we're gonna do next, so that's just kind of the main page of the website. So at this point, we're gonna click into one of the platform pages so you can see what each platform page looks like. So let's see, let's do the Slocum glider. So this is a Slocum glider that is currently deployed in the Selwyn Bank National Marine Sanctuary off the coast of Massachusetts in the US. And so each platform page, when you click on it, it will have the platform name, it will have the dates, it'll have a little summary of the study objectives, principal investigators and collaborators, the analyst who is currently analyzing the pitch track data coming in. Most of them have a picture of usually the specific platform that goes in the water. Sometimes it's just an example of it. So here you can see the Slocum glider. Keep scrolling down. For glider pages, you will see a map that shows the glider track. For buoy pages, you'll just see a map with, I believe it's a yellow star that shows the buoy location. So you can see on this one, if we move this one scrolling, oh, lovely, okay. Oh, could you? Oh, that would be simple. It's okay. Thank you for keeping things simple today. Okay, so so zoomed in here, you can see the green dot here is where the glider started, and it's kind of been zigzagging its way north, and its last location that was transmitted is indicated by the red dot. So this is just north of Cape Cod, Massachusetts, and so you can always get like an update of where the glider currently is or where the buoy is. If you keep scrolling down, there is a breakdown of the species occurrence along the glider track. So this is not based off of raw pitch track data. This is based off the analyst results. So red dots, any red dots along the tracks are where the analyst has said, yes, this species is definitely detected for that pitch track period, which I will show you examples of shortly. And the yellow dots are where the analyst has specified that that's a period where that species was possibly detected. And I will be going through the protocols with you all about how we distinguish between those two categories and not detected. So we have sei whales up in the top left, and then fin whales, and then at the bottom here we have North Atlantic right whale species occurrence and humpback whales. So just at a glance, you can see in this deployment, fin whales and humpbacks have been definitely more prevalent than sei whales and right whales. Continue scrolling down, you will get to the daily analyst review table. This is based off the analysis, not the raw pitch track data. So this is after the analyst has gone through the pitch track data and specified not detected, possibly detected, or detected for each species. And so they'll, and this is a summary of just like the daily presence, not by the individual pitch track periods. So you'll see over here in the left-hand column, I think Mark showed an example of this. There's the date. That is a live link to the pitch track page, which I'll take you to momentarily. And then the columns are by species. Red indicates detected, yellow possibly, and gray not detected. So you can get kind of a breakdown. You can see fin whales are just kind of a constant. They're lovely. And then humpbacks, you can kind of start to get an idea of like when they're occurring. So that's a nice place to go just to kind of see what's current. The latest dates are at the top there. Keep scrolling down. Eventually you will get to the time series. So this is just a graph of a graph of the daily presence of the species. So that's another way to visualize what's out there and when, and how many summary periods or pitch track periods have been scored as detected or possibly detected for each species. So just another visual there. And then this is one of my favorite views of the data, which is the diel plot. This is a great way. We have some really wonderful examples on different platforms of diel acoustic occurrence of species. And again, you can see fin whales and humpbacks, definitely chatty. Sei whales, right whales, not so much. Keep scrolling down. Oh, Jen. There is a long-term spectrogram of the last, is that 3 days? No. Yeah, 3 days. Yeah. And those are also, you'll see the long-term spectrograms are posted on each of the pitch track pages as well, which I will show you. So it just gives you an idea of like the general, like what's going on the platform as far as just general background noise and such. Oceanographic data from the platform. And then you get to the bottom. There are the automated detection data, which we'll go through. There's some diagnostics. There's a link to some of the platform diagnostics, or the DMON and LFDCS, and then the platform diagnostics. But we're going to go back up here and look at some of the an actual pitch track page. So we're gonna click on the latest one. So this is from today on the Stellwagen glider. And so what happens when you click on the day is it will take you to a kind of a summary page where it shows you all of the pitch track periods where the different species have been detected. It'll show you if it's been scored as possibly detected or detected. For gliders, I think, and for buoys, but for gliders, it's most handy to have the lat long data, and it will also show the notes category. So if you're keeping notes for how you're scoring things, you'll be able to see all your notes for that day here. So it's just kind of a handy summary page to go to. And then you can click, these are live links as well. You can click into the actual individual pitch track pages. This is where it gets fun. At the top, I'm gonna zoom in here a little bit. Ooh, maybe. At the top here, you have your date and the start time of the period. Oh wait, no, it's the end time. Sorry, excuse me, end time of the period. And then you get a summary of the auto detections of each species. So this is like a nice little kind of preview to what's in the actual pitch track data. So just glancing at this, I can see there's 48 fin whale auto detections or classifications, sorry, in the pitch track data. Like this is indicating like maybe we won't see many indicators for say whale or right whale presence, acoustic presence, or humpback. Those are any other pitch tracks that haven't been classified. So how many pitch tracks are in that period that haven't been classified as those 4 species, and then the duration of the period in seconds, most of which are 900 seconds or 15 minutes. Scroll down, here's your long-term spectrogram, which shows the last 3 days. And this is also a nice way to see where we have data available. So you can see the gaps where it wasn't reporting. This is a good way to kind of look at kind of what's going on in the environment. So depending on the location of the platform, you might see kind of a tidal pattern of noise. You might see more noisy periods where there might be ship traffic. So it's just kind of a nice overview of what's going on with that platform. And then you scroll down and you get to the pitch track data. So what we have here is the 15 minutes approximately of pitch track data. Each one of these kind of rows is 1 minute of data. So we have 1,000 hertz on the y-axis, and time, we have 1 minute on the x-axis. And we can start seeing the different pitch tracks. So this specific example here, we've got fin whale pulses. They're technically little down sweeps, but they show up pretty much as little tonal lines in the pitch track data. And you can see the classifications here. So fin whales, if the pitch track is classified as fin whale and it has a Mahalanobis distance of 3 or less, it'll show the classification as call type 4. And then it'll show the Mahalanobis distance underneath that. So we can already see probably some fin whale, well, definitely some fin whale pulses here classified. Some of them, sometimes if it happens to be a 20 hertz noise, it will pick up fin whale pulses. I'll go through that when I talk about the way we analyze for different species. But this is just an example of what you see when you click into a pitch track page. So you scroll down, and I'll explain what's going on in these gray boxes in a minute. Below the pitch track data, you'll have this authorized use only section. So if you are the analyst, this is where you go to see how, or to score this period for species presence. So it'll have this form submitted. This is a way that you can tell, it'll say no if that form hasn't been submitted, like if the analyst hasn't gotten to it yet. It'll say yes if the analyst has already submitted this page with a presence score for all the species. And then you have a table here for your manual analysis. So you have your different, each row is for each of the species, and you can score it as detected, possibly detected, or not detected. Obviously this period we have fin whales. The rest we left as not detected. That's the default. So when you click in, it'll automatically have them all scored as not detected. So you just have to make sure you click on the right one. There's a place to enter notes. And then if you're the designated analyst, you can hit the submit button. And the first time you go in, each time you open the new browser window, the first time you click that submit button, you'll have a username and password set up. So, you know, not just anybody can go in and analyze the pitch track data, you have to be authorized. So that is how you can actually go in and score the pitch track period. And then below that, Mark has kindly included a little summary of the call types here and just a little bit of information about what's going on. So pitch tracks, it's gonna pitch track any calls that are 11 decibels above background noise or higher, and then an explanation for the amplitude, right? Cooler colors are quieter, warmer are higher amplitude. And then the call type classifications, right? So say whales, if it's classified as say whale, it'll have a little 1, 2, or 3 underneath the call or the pitch track. Fin whales are 4, like we've seen above, and then right whales 5, 6, 7, 8, and humpbacks 15 through 20 there. And then below that, there is kind of a summary of some of the kind of signals that you'll see in the pitch track data that show you what's going on with the recording. So if it has, and these correspond to dashed lines that you'll see. So let's scroll up and see if we can find one of these. So for example, here up in the top, we call each one of these rows here, each 1 minute period of pitch track data, we call those panels, and they're numbered here over on the left-hand side. So when we're kind of discussing pitch track data, you can scroll down and say, hey, I see like a double fin whale pulse in panel 2, right? So those are the different panels. So in panel 1 here up at the top, we see ADT ET _ on, which corresponds to this dashed line that marks the time there. And if you scroll down to the bottom, Mark has included the key for what all of those different codes mean. So ADDET, oh my gosh, on, is where the pitch track data has resumed. So you might see mute on, that's when the hydrophone has been muted. And so recording has been paused. Mute off is when the hydrophone is unmuted and the recording has resumed. ADD ET off is when you've reached that maximum, is when you've reached your 8 kilobyte data limit that Mark talked about. So that's when, you know, if you have a wonderful humpback singing and using up your data limit, you might see that ADD ET off very quickly in your pitch track period, if that's using up your data. And then ADD ET on, that's where your pitch tracking has resumed, or your transmission of the pitch tracking. AD run and 0 and AD run 3, those two codes are specific to gliders. You're not going to see those in the buoy data. That's showing you when the glider has reached the surface and when it sticks its tail end up out of the water to transmit the data. And then when it's finished transmitting and is diving back down to resume recording and processing the pitch tracks. So those are specific to gliders. So that is kind of the run through. Oh, and this is mainly seen in, well, it's both really, but glider, the gray boxes, mostly glider, and buoy too. So you may see gray boxes in the data here. That's just indicating that that's kind of an overlap with what's seen in the previous period or the next period of pitch track data. So this gray box is data that's already included in a black region in the previous period. And then in the bottom here, same thing, these gray boxes are like if you click to the next period, which you can click the next button or the submit button, those will take you to the next pitch track period. This is some of the data that was included in those gray boxes in the previous one. So it's just showing the overlap between the periods. We typically ignore stuff that's in the gray box. There are a couple of exceptions to that rule, but it's just because you're going to see it in the other period anyway. You can still sometimes see the pitch tracks in the gray box, but you could ignore it because you're going to see it anyway. So that is those are kind of the basics of the pitch track page and the Robots4Whales website. So we're a couple minutes away from a scheduled 20-minute break. And so after the break, when we come back, I will take you all through the real-time analysis protocol for how we score each of the 4 species as detected, possibly detected, or not detected. So we'll go through that protocol and I'll show you kind of how to use we have quick guides that are helpful in the reference manual. And I'll show you guys how to kind of read those and and use them in your analysis. And they're all based on our criteria that we've developed between NEFSC and WHOI of how we want to score for species presence. So they may not line up exactly with what you might do for an analysis, but still. And even if you're not planning on deploying or doing analysis for real-time platforms, this part of the workshop is just like, it's a great way to kind of just see examples of pitch track data and learn about how to kind of interpret raw pitch track data without the spectrogram and score for species presence.